Okay, now that the muffler's on, I can cut the vent line and apply it to the muffler. The vent line usually isn't cut straight across, so I take my pair of side cutters here and just trim the very end of it so that it is right at 90 degrees. Okay, just trim a little piece off and then put the vent line on the muffler nipple. Okay, with it nice and straight across, it fits on the nipple better. Okay, so the same is true for this. Let me see here. Actually, that one's 90 degrees. How about that? So one of two choices. You can just go ahead and put this on here, which is what I'm going to do first, and that works very nicely. Okay, so you can see the fuel is the blue fuel tubing fits very nicely. The white vent line works very well. Got plenty of length on it. Next thing I want to do after I've got the engine installed, mufflers installed, is install the fuel filter. I like the fuel filter, the Sullivan with the clear tubing, so you can see what if the fuel filter is trapping anything. So I'm going to use this kind of fuel filter. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is, first off, you don't have to use a fuel filter. The engine company that makes the engine recommends it, but so I'm going to go ahead and put one on. So I'm going to pull off the the carburetor line and figure out a place where this fuel filter will get my hand out of the way here, will sit just ahead of the nipple, and get out a Sharpie and make a mark so that when it gets there, let's see, you don't want to have any crimp, so I'm going to cut it off right about there. Okay, so I have my cutters, and I'm just going to get them nice and straight on here and cut that off. Okay. I'm going to install the fuel filter in the correct direction. On the back of the package, it shows you which way the fuel filter, let's see, I guess I ought to put it right side up so you can read it. Okay, so that's the direction of the fuel flow, and you got to make sure you put it in the right direction. So the fuel is flowing that way, so that end goes here. Okay. Now I got about just enough there to decide how much more to cut off and put there. So that's about, we'll try that much. I think I'll mark it. I like to measure twice, cut once. I'm going to put this back here, put that there, put that there, and I think the fuel filter will fit nicely just like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off. My cutters get a nice 90-degree cut. Put this bit on the fuel filter, put that bit on the nipple. Now remember, with the 3-line tank, we don't take this on an awful lot, which is good. Tell you what, I'm going to put this on first, because that's going to be the harder thing to put on. I'll put the line on the nipple first, and then line these up and stick this in. Alright, be back in a second. Going to get a pair of forceps. Okay, I'm back with my pair of forceps, and now that I got a pair of forceps, it's probably going to be easier to put this fuel tubing on the filter first. That's probably the harder one to put on. And then use the forceps to put it on the nipple. Okay, so you just need to make sure that the fuel line isn't crimped at all. The fuel filter can be a source of air bubbles in the line, so when we first start the engine, we're going to make sure that the fuel flows cleanly through there and that there aren't any bubbles in the line being sucked in by the fuel filter. But I would say that looks in pretty good shape. Probably going to sit down there just like that. So that's the fuel filter, and I think we'll call this engine ready to have a prop put on. I'm going to do that at the end though, because I don't want to continue working with the airplane, putting the tail feathers on, the gear on, and so forth. That's easy to do without the prop on. So the prop probably going to be the last thing I put on. See you on the next video.